So today, Star Wars Jedi Survivor has received a new patch update, and in the patch update, it says that it fixes performance improvements across PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. But one of the things that it does not mention if it fixes this issue or not is the HDR issue in the game. For those who's not aware, HDR has been really, really buggy in the game since launch. So pretty much this is my temporary solution. So right now I have HDR set to 20 for the brightness and HDR set to 5 for the black point to basically solve this solution. So I was just waiting for like a patch to fix it. So now that we received a new patch, let me put it back to the default setting to basically see if it fixes this issue. So for those who's pretty much not aware, ever since launch, for those who basically have a 4K TV that supports HDR, and if you have HDR output on in the game, for some reason the brightness was a bit buggy. So it was making like the graphics look all dull, and Cal's face had this little blur slash pixel texture error. And basically, I made like a little video talking about it the other day, so now we're seeing if today's patch basically fixes this issue. So let's go over here so we can have a better look at Cal's face. So far so good. Because before on launch, his face was really bugging out. Because you could already tell because he had like, there was like this blur that was going on with his face. And you see where his left eye is at, or like his right eye? There was like a blur going on with his eye, and it kind of looked like there was like two eyes attached to each other. So like the texture was a bit off, and the visual effects was a bit like off in the game, and the graphic it was just making like the quality and the performance in the game like really bad. Like the quality, the performance, like the frame rate would keep dropping. Like I already know the game already supports like 30 frames, right? But it pretty much it felt like the frame rate was dropping to like 20 frames, back to 30 frames, and then back to like 20. Like the frame rate kept dropping. So it kind of like looks like right now they fixed it because I don't see the blur on his face anymore. So that's good. So they kind of like fixed the blurriness. Yeah, like I don't see it anymore. So let's go to photo mode and actually zoom in on the face. Or let's zoom out a bit. Okay, so it looks like they did fix the issue between the HDR. So that's really good. Because I was seeing if the HDR in the game was fixed. Because so far I saw that they mentioned that the performance improvements got fixed, but sometimes performance can be separate with HDR. Because you could have performance mode on and have like really high like frame rate and have like 1440p resolution on, but the HDR output, like it makes like a huge difference with the brightness. So it's kind of like separate with the performance mode. So you could have the best performance in the game, but your HDR could still be a bit like buggy slash laggy. So that's really good to see that this update fixes it because that's one thing I wanted to see if it does fixes it or not because it didn't mention it in the patch was the HDR in the game. So only one way to truly find out if it's fixed or not is go over to a building and see if there's like pixels because I kept seeing like a little pixel texture error and you could tell like straight away. So let's go to let's go to photo mode again. Okay, so I do not see the pixels around Cal's hair because that's one thing you could tell straight away is to see if there's like these little black dots like pixels around the hair area in the building. So I do not see like the pixels glitching out. So let's go on this side. Let's zoom out a bit. That honestly looks so much better. Okay, so much better than
Animal
launch.
friendly.
Way better. So this makes the performance in the game look so much better. Okay, so that's really good to note. Alright, so that's really good to like see they actually fixed the HDR output issue. Like if you have like the HDR output or like the brightness set to like default, that's really good. So I don't even have to put it to 20 anymore, or I don't have to put the black point set to 5 anymore, because that was the temporary solution I was playing on launch, since the HDR was really bugging out in the game. So I was just waiting until like they fully fixed it so I could go back to like the default setting. So that's really good to see they fixed the HDR in the game. So I just wanted to like make this like little video to like actually clarify to see if the HDR is fixed or not. So let's see. Yep, 100% they fixed it. Because before, whenever I would like pull out the lifesaver and like go in battle, there was these like blurry there was like the like a little blur around his outfit. Like around the outfit you could see like a blur, and like it kind of like almost seemed like the visual effects was kind of glitching out with the model. But yeah, he had like this blurriness around the outfits. But now it seems like there's no blur when you're in combat. When you're in combat mode, when you pull out the lifesaver. So, yep, 100% they fixed the HDR issue in the game. Now the game is fully 100% playable, like no more of that HDR bugginess. So that's really good that the HDR is not buggy in the game anymore. That was one major thing that I was having in the game. Now they fixed it. That is so awesome. So this update is really worth it, this new update. So for those who want to have like the best performance in the game, and for those who does not want the HDR to be like buggy, and that will basically play on the default brightness and no longer on 20 and 5, definitely update the game to the newest update, because this actually does fix the HDR issues in the game. But with that being said, I just wanted to like make this like quick little video to actually see if the HDR is fixed. But anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Why'd you ask me here? I don't like you and you don't like me.
That's right. But you annoy me a lot less than the others in this go-nowhere town. And I think you feel the same.
What are you saying? Out with it already.
I'm saying this is a date, and we're on it. And if you don't like it, too bad.